So I'm going to be taking a little bit of time now to talk about some notes on the formative assessment that you guys did a while back, the self-reflection. And it told me a lot about how the class is going for a lot of people. So here are some things that a lot of people mentioned about liking about the class. They liked how certain assignments, especially the Code of Ethics analysis, were broken up into parts and steps so that you do multiple drafts. A lot of people like the fact that a lot of the assignments are thought-provoking. A lot of people like the fact that assignments and due dates are usually clear and specific. Interestingly enough, there were just as many people who said they thought the due dates weren't clear and specific, so I'm not sure how to correct that, because some people are really getting it, some people are not in terms of how I organize things. So I'll be trying to do some things to make it as organized as possible, but occasionally things overlap, like due dates, and so it might seem like a couple of the things are out of order in the weekly assignment. A lot of people liked the idea of creating the top 10 lists and having input on the readings in the class, and we'll be starting to do some of those readings that the class has chosen, in addition to a couple that I would like to add to it. Some of the people in the class feel really connected through the discussion boards, and then also through the icebreaker at the beginning of the semester. And I think what we're going to try to do is maybe do another icebreaker of some kind, so that people, now that you've seen some people's writing and everything, you can start to maybe put a face to a name. So you might be doing something with either photographs or visual creations that you can send each other that represent you. Stay tuned for that in future weeks. A lot of people, and this was mentioned a lot, and I think it's a really powerful thing, is that people liked hearing about other people's life experiences in relationship to the class content. The stories that people are telling are powerful. So I think it's a really good thing to show yourself a bit on the discussion board, especially because those stories about you make your writing more interesting. A lot of people also like the idea of a variety of methods in the class that are used in order to do assignments, right? We don't do exactly the same thing every week. There are some patterns, and we do use a lot of discussion boards. But moving forward, you'll see some more different styles of discussion boards and how they work. So here are some things that popped up kind of frequently about things that could be improved. And interestingly, like I said before, there's some overlap between the things that people liked and the things that they thought could be improved. So people want more connection with classmates, especially in an online class. So I'll take any suggestions that you guys might have about how to create an even stronger connection between classmates. And I'll be thinking of some ideas myself. In reference to the idea of the order of assignments in the weekly folders, my assumption is that everybody reads all of them right at the beginning of the week and has an idea and writes down due dates. And so if there is a couple that maybe are out of order, you're still finding all of them. That may be a bad assumption on my part. So I'm going to do the best I can to make sure that everything's in an order that makes sense to me, but also understand that my learning style and my style of organization may be different than yours, and so that's just something that you'll have to adjust to, and I'll have to adjust to and try to make just a little bit better for different learning styles. And then we're also going to try on the discussion boards perhaps to do the dividing up into smaller groups again, so you can get to know people a little bit better. That was something that some people recommended as a possible improvement. The discussion boards, to a lot of people, feel a little bit forced sometimes, and maybe even, as somebody said, a little bit tedious or unfruitful. And I'm not entirely sure what to do about that, because I think the idea of the discussion board is a good thing about people going back and forth. But maybe the way it's set up, people don't have enough time to go back and forth a lot to really get an honest, authentic conversation going, and a lot of people just do it to do it. So I'm going to recommend that people try to extend conversations by asking questions of each other and really trying to get interested in what the other people have to say. Just because a discussion board has been posted in week 7 doesn't mean it can't continue into week 8 or week 9 if there's interesting things going on. But I do understand that everybody's busy and you do what you can. One person said we tend to reply to others mechanically without the intent of actually trying to create a conversation, only trying to do the work in order to get the grade. And I think that's a really good observation. So try to put a little more effort into the idea of getting a conversation going as opposed to just doing the assignment at a minimum level. One last thing I want to talk about is the idea of theory. Think of theory as a tool, and if you don't like doing the theoretical readings, what you need to do is figure out how do those theoretical readings apply directly to things that you're very interested in. So actively make connections between things that you are passionate about and the theory. That's the best way to do theory, is to take the theory and apply it to something that you have a sincere interest in. And here's some things that I'm going to do to hopefully help improve. I'm going to keep doing some of these videos. Hopefully that's adding a little bit more personality to the class. I'll get some more feedback from you on that pretty soon. And then doing some more of the podcast style recordings and a couple more interviews with Lydia B. Asking me about things and me talking about things and hopefully not making a fool of myself. We're going to go back to revisit the frameworks, the theoretical frameworks in the Right versus Right article, so that those things become a little bit more applicable to the things that we're doing now. And here was a good question from a class member that I'm going to work on. What's the difference between virtue and ethics? So I'm going to be kind of mulling through that and trying to come up with and compose an answer that makes sense. So thanks for all of your thoughtful insights. I really appreciate it.